There is more love somewhere. There is more love somewhere. And I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere. There is more hope. There is more hope somewhere. There is more hope. There is more hope somewhere. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Till I find it. There's more hope. There is more hope somewhere. Somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace somewhere. There is more peace. There is more peace somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Till I find it. There is more peace somewhere. There is more joy. There is more joy somewhere. There is more joy somewhere. And I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more joy somewhere. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. Till I find it. There is more love somewhere. Someone's weeping, Lord, come by here. And someone's praying, Lord, come by here. Someone's happy, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Good morning. Whether you're gathering online or on DuPont, that took me, I was very proud of that. I just want to, I waited too long for that one. I wrestled for that blessing. Online or on DuPont, I think I'm clever. We, a community gathered on purpose. We have gathered for liberation. We've gathered for a love that won't quit and knows no exemptions from its work. We're here and singing and loving and being together for our lives. We create space in this thing we call a sanctuary for the purpose of setting aside a bit of time for something different, something in the still small voice within, something joyous. Whoever you are very welcome here. Know that whoever you are and whoever you came with, we believe in the love that embraces you and doesn't stop there. I begin this service this way because I'm mindful in a place we call a sanctuary for how many of us, there is no such thing as a safe space. How many people we are fighting ourselves for, how many people are themselves fighting for the autonomy of their own bodies, the autonomy of their own ways of living. You and me are in the fight for love, on the side of love. We are gathered for love because love can make a difference. And together, we can do more than any of us could do alone. And so I welcome you into a time of worship in this space that is as warm as we can make it. That pun was not intended. I'm gonna reflect on that first. I welcome you into the practice of opening our worship service together. We first start with a chalice cup with the flame, a symbol of Unitarian Universalists all around the world and across time. The symbol came to us from Hans Deutsch, who was commissioned to come up with a symbol for the Unitarian Service Committee during World War II. They wanted to hang it or place the symbol in the window so that people who were trying to escape persecution from the Nazi government would know where to go. They would know inside that they could find safety. We light this chalice for each other, to keep each other well. Will you join me in the words we use to light the chalice, our covenant? Love is the spirit of this church. This is our great covenant. Dwell together in peace, to search the truth in love, and to help one another. Let's settle in now. I invite you into the practice that we use each week to begin our worship service. We light a chalice and then we breathe 3 breaths on our own time, and we wait for each other. in community in our day. If we're telling the truth, there really is no such thing as a safe space. That line actually comes from a poem, which I invite you into, by the Justice Doula, the self-proclaimed Justice Doula. It's Mickey Scott Bay Jones. I invite you to read it along with me. There is no such thing as a safe space. We exist in the real world. We all carry scars and have wounds. This space seeks to turn down the volume of the world outside and amplify the voices that have to fight to be heard elsewhere. This space will not be perfect. It will not always be what we wish it to be, but it will be our space together, and we will work on it side by side. So then, in that spirit, let us gather ourselves for worship. Let me tell you, I have been excited about this day ever since I had a dream about 7 months ago, and I walked into my meeting with Reverend Jen, who is doing the work that she needs to do, and so is Reverend Arif. They're both on vacation, and rest is spiritual practice. Okay. Reverend Ashley Harness is out guest preaching, so we let's give one of those to, yes, can you hear? Yes. Go, Ash. Franco is also on vacation because rest is a spiritual practice. Okay, but because the Sundays are still coming, we're here. I'm Dr. Glenn Thomas Rideout, and thank you. Hey, thank you. Joining me in leading worship is our artist in residence, Aimee K. Bryant. Sally Reynolds is our pianist today. But see, your hands will get tired if we go through all of the names of all of the people who are contributing to the lead of this time of fellowship and community. I mean, John and Olu are back there in the media booth, and there are ushers and and there are ushers and greeters, and there are people who are on their own journeys into nature, into vacation, because rest is a spiritual practice. That's right. Okay. Just don't all be at rest at the same time, because we have to have okay. So for our beginning time, for all ages, for the whole community, we're going to play a bit of a game, and it will require you, but don't worry, you won't have to come up. You'll just have to think of a word on cue every once in a while. You'll have to help us. This game is called Yes and. Anybody ever heard that? Okay, yeah. Okay, yes and is the primary principle, as I know it, of improv comedy. Yes. Okay, I'm just making sure I got my stuff because there's a scholar in the house. Okay. What we usually do here is tell a story. We're going to tell a story now, and it's going to be about community. It has to be about community, and then we need 3 things. They'll come up at random. And at that time, one of us will look at you and go, and we'll just take the first thing you see, or the first thing that comes to your mind. Does that make sense, theoretically? Okay. What?
You'll ask us to holler out a word?
Yeah. Yes. I will ask you to holler out a word. And that asking will look like this. Okay? It'll hopefully be very clear. You didn't see it. All right. Okay, we're going to tell a sentence. We're going to tell a story one sentence at a time. Here you are, the magic wand.
It's not on.
Yes, and.
Has to be somehow about, I think, beloved community. Maybe it's on a summer day. I don't know. And one sentence at a time, and it has to be a story.
Okay. I know about stories.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually afraid with the pro. Okay.
No, I started to say that I once didn't get a job in like improv sport, whatever that thing is, because of this game. It's gonna be great. It wasn't for me. Anyway. Oh, I start?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, once there was a clown
No.
named Jester who could not figure out how to get his lip makeup on correctly. Instead of wearing red, this is more than a sentence, he wore purple. And all the other clowns had giant red lips. But he was always purple.
Okay, this is yes and.
Sorry. That's why I didn't get the job.
Yes, and all the people in the village of his town, it was a guy called His Town, and they named it after him. In the village of his town, could hear him weeping from miles away, so upset in all his purple malaise.
And they went to the store in their town, which I shall not name, and they got all the red lipstick they could find. And they brought it to Jester and said, just use this.
Yes! And just as he was about to try out the red, all of a sudden in came a kangaroo.
And the kangaroo hopped on all of the red makeup, destroying it. So the Jester cried even louder. Nobody loves my purple lips.
Yes. And one of the tiniest kangaroos in the kangaroo family, with a tiny Kleenex, approached and softly offered a bit of comfort.
Yes. And Chester took the tissue and dried their tears and looked at the baby kangaroo. And the kangaroo said, I know how that feels when you don't fit in with everybody else. I get sad too sometimes.
And one by one, they all realized that they all have all kinds of emotions all the time. One of them in the back said, I do too. 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 And they consoled each other in that one moment of comforting.
Yes. And as they told how they all have sad feelings sometimes, they all each came up and showed Chester things about them that were different than everyone else. Like one kangaroo had 6 toes. I don't know how many toes kangaroos have. And another clown came and said, my scalp is sensitive, so I can't wear a wig. I just like yatta-tatta louder. The people love it. One at a time, they each shared something about them that they felt made them different than everyone else.
And they all spent the rest of the summer in joy, keeping one another in care.
Yes, and clowning. In care.
Yes, and the end. Would you rise? Let's sing one hymn, one verse of the song, Just as Long as I Have Breath.
Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. In my dreams and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they have thought I did best, tell them I said yes to life.
Thank you. And so the exploration for us begins from a dream all of 7 months ago. And the dream was very clear. You were there, and you were there, and you, and you, and you. And we were all seated right here on this very day. And there was music. So much music. And artists from all over the state came. And they gave us a bit of music and a bit of wisdom. That was when the dream was born that we enter into this month. July's worship theme is art and soul. We'll spend the next few weeks in conversation with artists, musicians, who we love and respect, some who we might not know, but we're about to get to know. Artists extraordinaire. And we're going to talk a little bit and hear the music. Together, we'll find out what the notes and the rhythms have to say about our spiritual paths together and when we're apart. Y'all, when I got up this morning, I was so excited. So, in community that we've gathered, this is a time in our service where we make room for each other, where we pray together, where we keep a little more quiet. It's in this space of settling, that we learn more deeply how to be one with each other. We share a bit of the truth of our lives. Some of us have stories to tell. And we hold each other in that space. When the news is great, when the word is hard to hear, we hear all of it. It strengthens us, and it keeps our loved ones in companionship. Friends, this is perhaps the most important work we do on a regular basis. Learn how to see one another, hear one another, hold one another, and keep one another for a while. I invite you to settle then with me into a place where your heart can open wide. a poem. A poem I wrote on a summer day, much like this one, on a dog walk. I call my poem After All. God is no noun, and certainly not an adjective. God is at least a verb, and even that shrinks her. God is not so much a woman as she is waiting in the improbable hope of brown mothers. God is not so much a man as he is at work in the memory of my grandfather's laugh. God is not trans. God swims in the tears of the one who is seeing her real self at long last in the bathroom mirror. We're getting Michelangelo all wrong. God is not the bearded one, floating over the Sistine, surrounded by angels. He is not Adam with his muscled back pressing the earth, no. God is the closing inch of space between their reaching fingers. Don't believe for a moment that God is Catholic. For God's sake, he isn't even human. Have you heard the wood thrush when the sun glistens the Huron? Can you see the flowers, how they speak to bees without a word? Still, God is no spring blossom, no wood thrush. God is neither the sun nor the bee. God is when you see the blossom. God is when you hear the river and suddenly realize how much of it is part of you. To be clear, God is not you. God is somewhere in the 14 billion years which have come to mean that you are. God is, after all, at least a verb. He is not Moses' staff, nor Pharaoh's rod. We must be the ones to cease our slavery. He's not interested in praise, neither does he offer blame. Truth, gratitude are ours to breathe. She will not have your answers. She is too large for answers. She dances too wildly to be fastened to them, and answers are nouns anyway. God is at least a verb. Twirling in the radiant reds of spring blossoms, singing in the rare silences between rapid opinions, attending the tears of dark-skinned deaths, learning in tiny alabaster smiles. God is waiting in the space between fingers that might connect. He is waiting for us to stop naming her. She is waiting for us to see all of him. God is waiting to be unshrunk. Circle round for freedom, circle round for peace, for all of us imprisoned,
Circle for release. Circle for the planet. Circle for each soul. For the children of our children. Keep the circle whole.
Oh, my, so much for us to pray for, so much to pray with, so many to keep in care in this moment. Our friends Daibelis, Galindo, Gustavo, and 3-year-old brother Mateo live with us in the building for a time now. I'm happy to announce that they welcomed baby Elijah Aaron into the world on Tuesday. Right? Folks, they're all doing well and are settling back home in their apartment. We hold Michelle Boyer, Melissa Conway, and their kids, Evan and Ritu, in our hearts today. They're grieving the loss of Michelle's mom. Michelle's mom's name was Colleen Boyer, who died earlier this week from Alzheimer's. May our love and care surround them in this tender time. And will you pray with Karen Wills? She journeyed with her sister Barbara through her last days of life this past week. Prayers for loving memories and gentleness, for Karen, for balance and strength in this liminal time. These are not the only names living in the cycle of life. You too have lived a whole week at least since we've seen each other. The space is open should you like to share out loud, should you like to hold it in community while we just sit with you.
I appreciate the people who came and brought food to my house.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back. Yes. Thank you. To all the words and all the symphony of sound and silence we gather right here along the cycle of all our lives. May the sounds bring us to compassion and care. May the silence remind us that some of our feelings are wordless. May they also remind us that there will be space here. I wonder if we might sing together. The hymn is Spirit of Life. Many of you, I'm sure, know it. Thank you. I'm not one to do this normally, but enough time has now passed that I should explain the delay. I am by no means like a latest techie person. And to, among other things, to keep everybody in better communication, I am the test subject. We were just holding each other in care. What the? Yes, yes. And so far, I have done very well at getting to all of the right things that I need to say. And I know that this one is particularly important, but for the life of me, the technology doesn't want to be as nice as I want to be to it. This is what it looks like to be human in public. In the practice of community building together, our work we call to give, to receive, and to grow. Giving alone won't work. It fails to keep us balanced. It leaves us at the altar of isolation. Receiving alone is not enough. Love needs us all. Justice needs us as much. But together, in that balance of giving and receiving, we grow. So in a moment, the ushers will come to receive the morning's offering, and I offer for your practice of generosity that we are collecting the offering funds for the Minnesota honor tax. The Minnesota Honor Tax is an organization that receives a form of reparations that go directly to the Lower Sioux here locally. For thousands of years, the Dakota lived in and cared for much of the land that many of us know as Minnesota. And part of the work of reconciliation has been this voluntary honor tax, where our money goes directly to the work to deepen the resourcing to strengthen the lives of the people. Now, let me say something. We live in a capitalist system, and so money helps to resource people's lives. That's just real. But money is not even the start of the relationships and repair and reconciliation that we need to do, I know, and that we are all about. And so use this at least as a deposit into your own promise to deepen your relationship with the story of our nation, to deepen our relationship as a community as we work for healing in the world. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, may the people who receive our giving be blessed by it. If you're not in a place to give right now, if you're in need of receiving, send me an email. Find me, walk right up to me and say, that thing you said, remind me what it is, and I'll help you start the conversation. Our church makes sure to reserve some of our resources to be helpful when times are hard. It's only a beginning, but we'd love to help. In all the ways that we give and receive, may we grow. I invite the ushers now to receive the morning's offering. I invite you to give generously. Well, ain't no need for music, because don't you know that the sound of children is the sonic evidence of new life? Do you know that? Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. Open the window, let the dove fly in. How many people know that one? Good, because I need help. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly in. 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 Mama and Papa fight like snakes. Open the window, let the dove fly in. What's the use of crying if your heart will break? Open the window, let the dove fly. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Whoa. Open the window, let the dove fly. Open the window, let the dove fly. Some people have money, some people have none. Open the window, let the dove fly. But what's the use of money if your heart's gone numb? Open the window, let the dove fly. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dove fly. Open the window. Look, y'all are moving like Beethoven is playing. Like, not like some Sea Island song, which this is, just came out. Like, I mean, come on, Larry. Am I the only one whose hips move like that when you hear da da go back da? Let's give it another go. I mean, don't you let anybody have to give you permission to let your body do what it do when you hear the music, okay? Okay, would you rise? Let's do it together. They're never leaving me alone again. Open the window, children. Open the window now. Oh, open the window, children. Open the window, let the dog fly. Open the window, let the dog fly. One more time. Say, open the window, children. Open the window now. Open the window, children. Open the window, let the dog fly. Open the window, let the dog fly. Your body thanks you. The people who are going to tell the story about the silly dance break in the middle of the service, thank you. Yeah. It's good to get serious about joy. Well, friends, thank you for your work of generous giving. Together, we make more of a difference with our generosity than any one of us could do alone. That's what community is about, and I'm proud to be a part of it with you. I am also very proud, I should say, for the first of our featured artists in our series of art and soul. I also thought that was pretty clever. It's true. I have like goofy field days writing for y'all. Today's artist is no better start to our month. Today's artist is our artist in residence, Aimee K. Bryant. So I'm gonna say a whole bunch of words about Aimee now that are both true and for introverts make us blush. So away we go, and then Aimee's going to and then Aimee will offer us music. Since she earned her BFA from Howard University, Aimee K. Bryant has built a lengthy resume as a theater artist in the Twin Cities. Aimee's an actor, a vocalist, a director, a teaching artist whose artistic practice is rooted in soul music and a rigorous curiosity about the way things are. Her mission is to use performance as a tool for self-reflection, healing, transformation, and Black liberation. I know. She also identifies as a mother, a roller skater, a Buddhist, a Detroiter, a cyclist, and a foodie. We didn't go eat yet. Okay, it's on now. I'm also very proud that Aimee is on staff here as one of our music leaders who has brought color and depth and savvy and know-how and joy to our worship services for years, including through the pandemic, which is not lost on me. I wasn't even here. Yeah. Thank you. Aimee's album, Becoming, I want to say, I just checked, is available on Spotify. You ain't even got her album yet. Apple Music, and wherever fine, critically acclaimed versatility and vocal stylings and songwriting are sold. I welcome you to the joy of this voice and the joy of this artist. Let's learn from the music and deepen our relationship with the art. Will you join me in giving a little love to our artist in residence, the wonderful Aimee K. Bryant.
Gather yourself, your broken bits, your shattered dreams, the shards of shame. Let your tears be your guide. Collect your precious memories, your hopes and intentions. Gather yourself. Bring what you are holding. Toss it all to the wind. Run as fast as you can toward the sun and fly. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here, you think, sure, she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see them dancing, walking along on those, what do you call them? Feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down it rhymes with feet. What's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they understand, bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand and ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn. When's in my turn? Wouldn't I love to explore that shore up above, out of the sea? Wish I could be part of that world. Remember, you were wild, and you were free, and you felt unloved and unseen, and you ran the streets, and you loved hard, and you were loved deeply, and you were cared for, and you were neglected, and you didn't know how to process your feelings, and you were unkind sometimes, and you received grace. and you did great, and you failed, and you hurt others, and you were hurt, and you healed. And all of this is true at the same time. And you shine. One thing I don't need is any more apologies. I got sorry greeting me at my front door. You can keep yours. I don't know what to do with them. They don't open doors or bring the sun back. They don't make me happy or get a morning paper. Didn't nobody stop using my tears to wash cars? 'Cause of sorry. I am simply tired of collecting. I didn't know I was so important to you. I am gonna have to throw some away. I can't get to the clothes in my closet for all of the sorries. I'm gonna tack a sign to my door, leave a message by the phone. If you called to say you're sorry, call somebody else. I don't use them anymore. I let sorry, didn't mean to, and how could I know about that? Take a walk down a dark and musty street in Brooklyn. I'm gonna do exactly what I want to, and I won't be sorry for none of it. Let a sorry soothe your soul. I'm gonna soothe mine. You were always inconsistent, doing something and then being sorry. Beating my heart to death, talking about you sorry. Well, I will not call, and I'm not gonna be nice, and I will raise my voice and scream and holler and break things and race the engine and tell all your secrets about yourself to your face, and I will list in detail every one of my wonderful lovers and their ways. La la la, la la la, la la. I will play Oliver Lake loud, and I won't be sorry for none of it. I loved you on purpose. I was open on purpose, and I still crave vulnerability and closed talk, and I'm not even sorry about you. I'm not even sorry about you. I'm not even sorry about you being sorry. You can keep all that guilt and grime you wanna, just don't give it to me. I can't use another sorry. Next time, you should just admit you're mean, low down, trifling, and no count, straight out. Instead of being sorry all of the time, enjoy, enjoy, enjoy being yourself. Picture a girl, 12 or 11. Picture her very best friend. Sisters, they swore to the end. Picture them both at the cheerleader tryout. Picture the friend on the squad. Picture the first girl appealing to God. Now picture her braces, picture her glasses. She's a straight A whiz in all of her classes. Picture Picture the cheerleader friend passing by. Picture the cheerleader not saying hi. Imagine the words in that little girl's head. Imagine the things that she wished she had said. I would never do this. I would never be the way you are. I would never see you from afar and turn away. What can I say? I would never do the things you do. I'm better than you. Picture that girl, a senior in high school. Picture a boy she could love. The very first boy she could love. 17 dates since the 8th of October, and prom is just 3 weeks away. The boy, he has something so hard to say. Now picture the silence, picture the tension. This boy means more than this girl cares to mention. Picture her dream as it silently melts. Picture him dancing with somebody else. I would never do this. I would never try to hurt your heart. I would never see you when you start to fly away. What can I say? I would never do the things you do. I'm better than you. Picture these pictures and picture me in them. I stand unaffected by all I survey. I am a god and I'm high on my mountain. People look up here and tremble and pray. Gods are perfection and people are flawed. Gods can pass judgment, so I'll be a god. Almighty, untouchable me. Let there be wrath, let there be misery. Let there be no mercy for what they have done. For what they have done. What have they done? What have they done to me? Really? When you're a god, you can cast the first stone. Trouble with being a god is you're always alone. How'd I ever do this? Look what kind of person I've become. I'm not growing up, I'm growing numb, but I can be better than me. I will do the thing I never do. Picture me saying, well, live and let live. Picture this girl as she learns to forgive. Remember, a closed heart hardens. It tightens till it breaks and crumbles to bits. Kneel in the sanctity of your resilience. Reach for evidence that you are not alone. When you find yourself stuck, crawl. Relish even the slightest forward movement. Be still in the cracks and the pulse of your weary heart till it creates you a new song. One more time, please. He was a lanky Arizona boy with an Oscar Wildean flair. His face could make the angels weep for joy, but his soul was devil may care. And though his sweet facade was quite demure, underneath it all he was wild. And though his wicked wit was quite mature, still he had the heart of a child. He was my friend. He was my friend. I could always spend a weekend with my friend. Now when I cried about life's bitter blows, his response was rather bizarre. First he would squish my toes, then mush my nose, while he called me turkey tartar. He'd act a fool, a stone cold fool, always kept me cool. To the end, my good friend, when life was unkind, he paid it no mind. But suddenly into this world a sickness came that he could not ignore. And what's more, it got my friend. Oh, that sickness, it got my friend. Oh no, he could not pretend that he would mend. Not my friend. I tried to hide the panic in my prayers as I whispered up to God's ear, God, do you need them all so young upstairs? Can't we keep some angels down here? Like say, my friend, God, stop this trend. God, this has got to end. God, when you send for my friend, please, God, don't send down for my friend. Let the rules bend. Don't take my friend. He is just my best friend. Only just my best friend. Please don't let his life end. Give me back my best friend. I prayed and I prayed. I grew more afraid. Then suddenly I saw his face, and suddenly his voice was in my head. And he said, just be my friend. Come on, Kirsty, just be my friend. Little mush nose, yeah, try to comprehend. Don't be afraid. Try to mend. Be my friend. Now, Keith, I wasn't very strong for you, but you're always strong in my mind. If you can hear me sing this song for you, then shake your cute celestial behind. Not too great and years too late, but finally coming through. Hiya, Keithy, hardy, har, turkey tartar. Keithy, I love you. Oh, you guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Aimee. Thank you, Sally. Okay, here's one that I have to ask you, please. How did you get Aimee K, Bryant? How did you decide to use that as the name that you use as an artist?
I mean, that's my name. It's my government name.
Okay.
But my mom, though, she uses her middle initial. I mean, it's not anything deep. So I just copied her.
Stage names fascinate me. Because,
yeah.
That's why, because it took me longer than I thought it was going to like Glenn Thomas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered, and I'm getting somewhere, like who emerges when the K does? So who is... Yeah, how do you see yourself grow, change when you get on stage as opposed to the you that you are any other way? Do you notice changes?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a few answers to that question, I guess, because I move professionally in so many different, spaces and jobs and things. And so if it's musical theater, I mean, the thing is that I think Chadwick Boseman said that the actor is always the vessel, you know, so like everything is informed by me and my own life that I do, like acting, singing. I mean, I think it's probably true for all of us. And at the same time, if it's theater, then there is a part of it that is about kind of stepping, like letting the Aimee K. Bryant live behind whatever the character is, you know. But I didn't like stress about like what to call myself. And I think a lot of my journey has been learning to like fill out my own skin. And so the most powerful thing that I can call myself is by my own name. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fascinated by, I saw you in the Bull Jean Stories at Pillsbury. How long is it? Is it 2 hours?
No.
An hour?
Did you say 9 hours? It was forever.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how
That one
many.
was like an hour, I
You
think.
did. That was an hour?
think
Okay, it
so.
doesn't. Okay. You do the entire show, and you go through so many different characters. I wonder, like, how you think about embodying an experience that's not your own.
I think that, and I am like the more privilege I have as an actor, the more choice I have, and I am intentional about choosing pieces that are aligned with my mission about healing and about transformation. And so I really have to come to the work with a deep respect and honor for the community that I'm serving in the work. And so it's really about trying to make sure that love is the strongest force in the performance, I think. Even if the character is not necessarily a loving character, but the intention is to come at the work with enough generosity that makes it accessible for people who maybe don't live that story. Yeah. Is that an answer to the question? I forgot the question.
I'm asking because we spend so much time in our spiritual work deepening things like empathy and understanding and reading about the many things that you have transformed, characters you've transformed into. It occurs to me that an actor at your level might have a lot of insight on this process that we're trying to do of empathizing all the time.
Well, I think that the thing is that human beings are complex. Like we live in a culture that likes to, like, really loves the binary, the good and the evil. But most people are not one thing or the other. And if I'm going to step into the life of a character, I can't do it with that kind of, this is a bad person, because then that person can't function in a fullness that serves the story. They have to be a real person, and real people are all kinds of things, all the things, really. I feel like probably all of us have hated someone at some time. All of us have probably done something violent at some time, and all of us have hopefully been compassionate and empathetic at times. And the gift of being an actor is that because I have to live as the person, then I have to find the good in the character, even if it doesn't appear to be any on the page, and then it also, like, outside of the work in my life, then I can meet people with a blank slate, knowing that they are more than they appear to be, and knowing that they come with all kinds of things that I can't see, and try to, like, hold my own ego in check about how we are interacting if I don't especially appreciate it,
I want to ask you about the similarities you see between Gary Coleman and Little Orphan Annie. Would you tell us about that?
Glenn Thomas is talking about why I became an actor. I had a crush on Gary Coleman. Now it's out in the world. It's on YouTube. I'll never be able to take it back. When I was a kid, and that's telling my age, but like we used to watch Different Strokes, and I just thought he was so cute. And it made me want to be an actor. And then Annie came out, the movie. And my mother took us to see the play, Annie. And it just was like, I want to do that. So Gary Coleman and Annie, brought Aimee K. Bryant to you. They both led to this moment.
So, yeah. One last thing. Do you notice that those stories are really similar? That's the first time that I've ever, the story of different strokes.
Oh, and Annie.
Yes!
I didn't think about that.
Right? Oh. So my last question is...
Now you got me examining my own history to see where I feel like an orphan or where I feel... You know what I'm saying?
Well, but look.
Right?
Look.
Oh, y'all too, huh?
But here's the thing. I'm curious, what's the kind of dream that would make you move in a different direction now?
Well, I mean, mostly family. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I mean, my mom's aging, and so my dreams aren't about work, because I really had the great fortune of coming to Minnesota and starting a career as an artist, and then being able to work and sustain myself as an artist. And what I learned in the pandemic is that as much as I really like working, I also kind of like not working, And there's so much that I have sacrificed to work, that my family has sacrificed for me to work, and I want to be present for them, especially my mother, as she gets up in age. So I don't know if that's a dream, but it's an intention, and I would love for her to come. I want to go on the road, is really what I want to do, and I want to take her with me. I don't know if she's going to go. She's pretty attached to her church.
My last thing is a sentence and a request. We love you.
I know. I feel it. I mean, it's why I stayed.
And would you sing us one more?
Of course. Thank y'all for sticking around. Remember, forgive yourself. You did the best you could. You were driven and hardworking. You were fiercely protective. And even when you were afraid, and you were afraid most of the time, you were courageous and powerful. Your determination broke open doors, shifted possibilities, repositioned life. Your sensitive soul, calloused by loneliness and shame, was still pierced by light. You took time to visit the ocean and dance and sought the air with laughter. You made it possible for me to soar. Thank you. When I fly, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care if my picture will be in the paper. There's nothing I want, nothing I need. That's when I am the wind. Oh, when I fly, I don't care where I go. There is no end in sight. When I am the wind, every part of me is working. I feel nothing and everything. I move in all directions. I forget about my senses. A moment is forever. It's clear, and I can finally see. When I am the wind, all the heroes, the saints, and the seers, the explorers, and the creators have this extraordinary passion. We do not know what we'll discover. We can't say where we're going or explain completely where we've been. dream about, something to believe in. And if one day someone looks to the stars and wonders what she sees, she'll feel the breeze. That's when I am the wind. The wind.
Thank you so much. Friends, don't store these memories to yourself. Don't keep them to yourself. Take them out into the world. Let's go now with joy, with renewed community, and let's sing one more time. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Will you rise? And let's bless each other on the way out. Well, that's got some kick to it. I like that.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Thank you. Thank you, Sally. Go in peace, go in song, go in love.